Hello everyone, my name is Alexander Taylor. I'm here at Music NL and I will be singing a few songs for you. My first song is St. John's Waltz. Oh, the harbor lights are gleaming and the evening's still and dark, and the seagulls are all dreaming seagull dreams on Amherst Rock, and the mist is slowly drifting as the shorefront lights go dim, and the moon is gently lifting as the last ship's coming in. All the sailors got a story, some are true, some are false. Oh, they're always wrecked and they're up on the deck, dancing the St. John's waltz. Oh, we've had our share of history. We've seen nations come and go. We've seen battles rage over land and stage, 200 years or more. For glory or for freedom, or for country or for king, or for money or fame, but there are no names on the graves where men lie sleeping. All the 9 to 5 survive the day with a sigh and a dose of salt. Well, they're parking their cars and they're back in the bars, dancing the St. John's waltz. Oh, my heart is on the highway and I'm sold on going to see all the trains fill the skyway, all the planes run swift and free. Leave the wayward free to wander, leave the restless free to roam. If there's rocks in the bay, or if it's old cliche, you'll find your way back home. But don't question or inquire what's been gained, what's been lost. In a world of romance, don't miss out on the chance to be dancing the St. John's waltz. Thank you, everyone. My next song is West Country Lady. Over Piper Stock Hill, take the time for to wander across the main bridge to the north side and yonder. And if you look along to the west, there's a chance that you'll see her move down to the bridge for the dance. And she still hears the music of an villain song, and she still looks to nature to lay out the law. She's a West Country lady from back in the past, and she faces the ocean where noisy waves blast on the rocks as the wind blows a gale from all quarters, where somersault sparkles on still waters down in the bay. She was there when they came on the very first ship, and she saw how the admirals ruled with a whip. And she worked with their men and her young sons and daughters to harvest the fields and the woods and the waters. And often with sadness she looked to the sea, with a longing of times that were never to be. She's a West Country lady from back in the past, and she faces the ocean where noisy waves blast on the rocks as the wind blows a gale from all quarters, where somersault sparkles on still waters down in the bay. Since the sea was the way between islands and nations, some old ways were new ways in this planter's station. She watched all the changes with pride and some sorrow. Some old ways remain, and she hopes that tomorrow will kindly tend to the bountiful sea, and that her land and her people will always be free. She's a West Country lady from back in the past, and she faces the ocean where noisy waves blast on the rocks as the wind blows a gale from all quarters, where somersault sparkles on still waters down in the bay. Thank you, everyone. And my last song is Grey Foggy Day. It's been some years ago since I left from my island to go to the mainland, like the old folks would say. As I walked up the gangway and I stood on the starboard and I gazed at the harbor on a gray foggy day. Summer days, they were warmer then, when we laughed at the old fishermen, and they cursed when the fog rolled in. Then they made up the hay. It's been more than a long, long time since I held you and called you mine, and we waited for the sun to shine on a gray foggy day, to wake in the early morn to the sound of the old foghorn, for the way for the men to return with their boats in the bay. All these things I don't see no more, when I lived on the old Cape shore and gazed at the boats in the morn on a gray foggy day. Summer days, they were warmer then, when we laughed at the old fishermen, and they cursed when the fog rolled in. Then they made up the hay. It's been more than a long, long time since I held you and called you mine, and we waited for the sun to shine on a gray foggy day. As long as my heart doesn't break from those old memories, old lovers and old used-to-bes, all come home for to stay. I can still hear the ocean roar from the hills of the old Cape shore, that there are no fishing boats anymore, but it's still a gray foggy day. Summer days, they were warmer then, when we laughed at the old fishermen, and they cursed when the fog rolled in. Then they made up the hay. It's been more than a long, long time since I held you and called you mine, and we waited for the sun to shine on a gray foggy day. Thank you, everyone. I hope you have a nice day and stay safe.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to a City of St. John's Harborside performance. My name is Ian Foster. This is Nancy Hynes.
Hello.
We have had the pleasure of doing this series a number of different years. This year, obviously, a little bit different. We're pre-recording this for online, but we hope to capture a little of the summer for you. So this song is called Right Here. Seems like now we cross the river wide. Seems like now got you by my side. Now all we gotta do is try to remain true to a little bit of grace these wandering hearts provide. Seems like now we're at a mountain low. Seems like now it'd be easy to let you go. But I don't want some twist of fate losing me your pretty face. Don't know much, that's one thing that I know. Oh, what does it mean? All these spaces in between, losing love and letting it set you free. Or maybe it's easier than we ever thought it could be. So slow down, darling, stay right here with me. Seems like now I've been on the road so long. Seems like now your voice is just a song, sweet and low, something I need, coming to me on the breeze, breaking my heart just before it's gone. Oh, what does it mean? All these spaces in between, losing love and letting it set you free. Or maybe it's easier than we ever thought it could be. So slow down, darling, stay right here with me. Spaces in between, losing love and letting it set you free. Or maybe it's easier than we ever thought it could be. So slow down, darling, stay right here with me. Slow down, darling, stay right here with me. So slow down, darling, stay right here with me. All right, that was a song called Right Here, and we're gonna go into another track now from my album Sleeper Years. It's called Feels Like It Wants to Rain. Seems we have reached a critical call, a selling point, a Berlin Wall. Down an American highway, the road empties out to a piano unplayed in an empty house. I wanted to believe that the weather was done, but the clouds overhead tell me we should run. I've been scratching and digging and dancing around these words on a page that would hold their ground. But it seems we're just in for the same. Feels like it wants to rain. Feels like it wants to rain. Well, if it's bred in the bone, if it runs in the blood, how do we not see the storm before we stood in the flood? If we're free to climb to higher ground, why not take my hand and not choose to drown? Well, I guess we just took ourselves in vain. Feels like it wants to rain. Feels like it wants to rain. We are long past the Bible now, we're into the brush. Long past the gold and into the rush. We are closer than ever, yet fear and embrace. We're just rebel hearts growling while we're looking for grace. We keep changing and changing, but the lesson is the same. Feels like it wants to rain. Feels like it wants to rain. We walked in hope down these ancient alleys, born of a time before our sweet follies. Our love was one red room, sweet girl, when suddenly around us was this world. And I feel like you and I have been framed. Feels like it wants to rain. Feels like it wants to rain. Oh, and good hearts cannot take the blame. Feels like it wants to rain. I'm going to do a song now from one of Newfoundland's great songwriters, an amazing tribute to the city, St. John's Walls, Ron Hynes. Oh, the harbor lights are gleaming, and the evening's still and dark, and the seagulls are all dreaming seagull dreams on Amherst Rock, and the mist is slowly drifting as the storefront lights go dim, and the moon is gently lifting as the last ship's coming in, and every sailor's got a story. Some are true, some are false, but they're always wrecked, and they're up on the decks dancing the St. John's Waltz. Oh, we've had our share of history. We've seen nations come and go. We've seen battles rage over land and stage, 500 years or more, for glory or for freedom, or for country or for king, or for money or fame, but there are no names on the graves where men lie sleeping, and all the 9 to 5s survive the day with a sigh and a dose of salts. But they're parking their cars and packing the bars, dancing the St. John's Waltz. Oh, my heart is on the highway, and I'm sold on going to see all the planes that fill the skyways, all the trains run swift and free. So leave the wayward free to wander, leave the restless free to roam. If it's rocks in the bay, if it's old cliche, you'll find your way back home. So don't question or inquire what's been gained and what's been lost. In a world of romance, don't miss out on the chance to be dancing the St. John's Waltz. In a world of romance, don't miss out on the chance to be dancing the St. John's Waltz.
I'm going to do a song on my own now, an a cappella tune that Ian wrote. It's called The Dark Sea, and he wrote it a number of years ago and decided it was for a female voice, and so I've been doing it for a little while, and I do like doing it, so we're going to give it a go. I asked my love for her hand to hold, to brave the dark sea, to stand the cold. 200 days I hold the line, but keep me in your as you are in mine. I asked my love for her sweetest song to keep me singing as the day grows long. And like my father's, all down the line, I work till night falls just to survive. And one night so calm and a storm I found, it eyed me carefully to pull me down. I asked my Lord for mercy on this soul as the raging darkness called for its toll. My ship, it capsized. I was thrown to sea. I asked my love to be brave for me. I asked my love, please remember me.
I'm going to play a song now from my 2011 record, The Evening Light. This is a song called The House. It started on tour when I was in New Brunswick, driving through this farmland, found this old, dilapidated barn in the middle of all this well-kept farmhouses and farmland. Clearly people had just walked out the door one day and not come back. And that sort of got me thinking, it got me thinking about part of our history here, people who had to, in some cases, leave their homes in small communities, just walk out the door one day, and that was the last time that they lived there. And so that barn in New Brunswick became a house in an unnamed community in Newfoundland in this song, and it's about a character who returns for one look after a lot of years. It's called The House. As I stood in front of the house, as it kneeled in front of me, where the roof had sort of caved in, some nails were bared like teeth. And if the doorway wasn't high, it held a crooked look of surprise that we had let it get so far down the line. Well, we move on, it's what we do, and we try to let go of all that we've held on to. We're deep down a country road where so few ever go. The house kept a silent vigil for the one she used to know. Time it did its work, just like nature, like gravity, and they slowly broke her spirit as they once did with you and me. Oh, but luckily when we move on, it's what we do, and we try to let go of all that we've held on to. As I stood in front of that house, as it kneeled in front of me, I could see in her broken frame the way it all used to be. I guess the poverty of our youth, well, it just went to our heads. But I don't remember the hard times now, I just remember the day you said, we gotta move on, It's what we gotta do, and try to let go of all that we've held on to. When we move on, it's what we do, and we try to let go of these things we hold on to.
Okay, cool. So it seems like just yesterday that Ron Hynes left us. Ron and I did know each other. He's a bit of a mentor of mine. We wrote a song together for my first solo record, and he would show up at gigs over the years and offer me sage pieces of advice, much of it unrepeatable here on a microphone on film, but he was a salty fellow, but he was always very good to me, and the night that he passed, of course, now is a legend here in St. John's. All of the power went out in downtown within about a half an hour of that news coming out, and including my own home downtown, and I sat there in the dark. A friend texted me with that information, and I was just left there thinking about it, and so I took this guitar down off the wall and was just thinking about Ron and all the songs he left behind. And I don't think you set out to write a song in a moment like that, but this one did come pretty quickly. Happy to still be playing it for Ron these years later. You left a song.
You left a song in the stones of Solomon's Lane, a song at the bar of the Rose, a song in the water under bridges you burned, a song for a lifetime that goes. You left a song with the dogs roaming the streets, a song for running out the door. You left a song in the honor of an island in tears, a song on the ocean's floor. So tell me, how did you make them all shine, even in the darkest night? How did you break so many hearts just by turning off the lights? You left a song on the ice, a song in the cards, in the eye of the needle's sting, a song in a young man's rambling shoes, a song at the heart of things. You left a song in the rooms of your empty home, a song on a distant shore. You left a song on the step as you were walking away, to show us that there could be more. So tell me, how did you make them all shine, even in the darkest night? How did you break so many hearts just by turning off the lights? So tell me, how did you make them all shine, even in the darkest night? How did you break so many hearts just by turning off the lights? just by turning off the lights.
So I have a new record coming out in the end of this year, beginning of next, and the first single from it is going to be this song. It's called Voyager, and I'm stoked to say that we have an animated music video coming out this November for this song. It's about the Voyager 1 space probe launched over 40 years ago, and it's sort of a song about that amazing achievement that we've made, and how it's still showing us who we are through all the crazy stuff we're going through right now. So this is Voyager.
Tell us where you are in the space between the stars. Is there an answer out there? Hope there's an answer out there. I know you're growing old. No one thought this ship would hold. We were wrong, you took your shot. We've been wrong about a lot. So just keep talking. You're something we can trust. Just keep talking. Bring the stars to us. Have you seen some holy force? A correction to our course. If there was a finish line, you cross it all the time. So just keep talking. You're something we can trust. Just keep talking. Bring the stars to us. Because we're counting on you. The lens that we see through. We're down here with the walls. Up there with it all. So just keep talking. Just keep talking. Tell us where you are in the space between the stars. Oh, tell us where you are.
A few years back, I had the chance to go to Labrador for the Labrador Creative Arts Festival. This amazing week where artists are sent out to schools around Labrador from the home base of Goose Bay and do workshops and perform for kids in rural communities. And I had the pleasure of going to a little place called Black Tickle, only accessible by boat and plane, no roads in or out, and only boat for half the year before the ice freezes over. And so I played for this whole school, K to 12, 23 kids, and spent a morning with them, and it was just it was the greatest time. And I learned a lot about Black Tickle's history and how they've been on the verge of resettlement now for some time. And you just gain a whole new perspective when you go to a place and you talk to people and hear about how much they love their home. And so I wrote this song pretty much a week after digesting that and being there with them. So this is for them. It's called Down the Line. Sorry,
I think you're muted.
Yeah. We can crossfade that intro.
I was like,
Absolutely.
I'm not
Good.
until I know for sure it's not going to be speakers, but I started to walk past the microphone. This is probably not
And I
good.
might be on my crazy verb too, so I'm just gonna check that.
No, it's all good. But yeah, we can keep that intro and just dig into it when you're ready.
Perfect.
No worries.
2 more minutes?
Sure.
Feels like the end was yesterday. Someone tell me what's today. Feels like there's still ink in the pen. Someone tell me what to say and what to do with all of this anger. What'll I do with all this time? Feels like the wind's blowing the answer, but all I'm hearing is a sigh. Feels like the whole world doesn't see. Someone tell me how to show just what this old place means to me. Maybe some things we can't know, like what to do with the history we're given. What'll I do with all this time? Turn my head and be someone different, or keep my eyes on the end of the line. Feels like they think we wanna take, but we have always made our way. Even the kids know what's at stake. All they need is a reason to stay. So what do we do with the broken hand we're dealing? What do we do with all this precious time? You may say that I'm is something more coming down the line. So what do we do with the broken hand we're dealing? What do we do with all this precious time? You may say that I'm a fool for believing that there is something more coming down the line. There is something more coming down the line. There is something more coming down the line. Two fires, one for sin and one desire. They'll turn your ashes into dust. I got burned, I ran away, and then I returned, mistaking all my loneliness for lust. Oh, oh, now the one's gonna hurt you, baby. You got nothing to burn. No, no, no. Two fires, they'll follow you to the funeral pyre and scorch your soul in the end. You got burned, but somehow you learned how to make both those fires your friends. So, oh, now the one gonna hurt you, baby. You got nothing to burn. No, no, no. Now the one gonna hurt you, baby. You got nothing to burn. No, no, no. Some people just give up, pour the fire into their cups, and it eat up inside. See it in their eyes, see it in their eyes. Two fires, they'll tell the truth, they'll make you a liar. Keep them at arm's reach if you can, 'cause they will fuel you as they confuse you and consume every woman, every man. Oh, oh, now the one gonna hurt you, baby. You got nothing to burn. No, no, no. Now the one gonna hurt you, baby. You got nothing to burn. No, no, no. Some people just give up, pour the fire into their cups, and it eats them up inside. See it in their eyes, 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 see it in their eyes.
Well, we'd like to thank the City of St. John's for having us here for this this very different Harborside Park concert series, but nonetheless fun. I hope you've enjoyed it, watching it at home. My name is Ian Foster. This is Nancy Hynes. And we're going to close on a bit of a song of good hope. I think we could all use that this year. This is called Daybreak.
When the veil of fear has been lifted and we start staring towards the sky, you will wonder why you worried all these years and how they all went by. When the promise of love has been kept and the dreams you had came true, you will wonder why you had so little faith and how the little that you had saw you through. And I say this from the other side of anger and regret, across the fields of our war. So pull yourself together and put on a pretty dress, and we'll dance in the light once more. When you've forgiven yourself for the past and start living in today. You will wonder why your sadness did last and why it stood in your way. And I say this from the other side of anger and regret, across the fields of our war. So pull yourself together and put on a pretty dress, and we'll dance in the light once more. I say this from the other side of anger and regret, across the fields of our war. So pull yourself together and put on a pretty dress, and we'll dance in the light once more. We'll dance in the light once more.